If you're one of those people who has a hard time going downstairs because you have knee pain or you don't trust your knee, stay until the end of the video because I'm going to show you 4 very important exercises that will improve both your knee function and your technique when going downstairs. The first thing is to sit on a stool. We're going to check the integrity and strength of your quadriceps muscle, which is mainly responsible for your knee movement. To do this, sitting on a chair, I want you to stretch one leg out completely. In fact, you'll have to do it with both legs. I want you to bring your toes toward you and sitting up straight, lift one leg off the ground just a few centimeters, hold the position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and lower it down. How was it? Was it easy? Was it difficult? If this exercise is very difficult, you need to repeat the same movement in sets of 10. If it was very easy, you can also strengthen this movement by placing a weight at the ankle level. Let's do 10 repetitions together, and then we'll move on to the second knee exercise. Keep very straight and upright, support yourself with your other leg, lift and count. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Relax. 2. You will notice that when you contract, when you lift that leg, the kneecap, which is this bone right in front of your knee, moves upward. Look, I don't know if you can see it here, but boom, it lifts up when I raise my leg, with my toes pointing toward me for greater contraction of the muscles at the front of your thigh. 5. Relax. We're on the third contraction. Toes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 3. Toes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Relax. 4. Toes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Toes up. 4, 5. Just a few finger widths off the ground. We only lift the leg, tighten around that kneecap and lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do 2 more. Relax. Contract up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set it down. Last repetition and up. 3, 4, and 5. After doing 10 repetitions, you should already feel some fatigue. Muscle fatigue here in the quadriceps, since that's where we're really building strength. We've done 1 set. I recommend doing another with the opposite leg and so on until you complete 3 or 4 sets of the exercise. Let's move on to that second exercise to check your quadriceps strength, which at the same time will also help you strengthen it. One of the main challenges is that when we go down the stairs, we end up standing on one leg while the supporting leg bends. So, controlling that knee while it's bent is extremely important, even more so when you're supporting all of your body weight. We're going to reproduce that situation with a load, but on a much smaller scale. To do this, we grab our leg from right behind. Here, below the knee, I want you to fully extend it, pointing your toes toward you. And from here, lower your knee very gently, very slowly, very slowly, very slowly. This is how we're working. The flexion of that knee in a much more controlled way. Relax, 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 like we would do if we had to go down the stairs. Let's do it again. I extend, let it drop slowly, slowly, slowly. We've done 3, let's do 5 one way, and then I'll show you 5 the real way, the complicated one. I go down slowly, slowly, 4. One more. I let it drop slowly and hold that leg drop. I'll be back in a moment. You're probably thinking that exercise was too easy. I get it. That's why we're going to add weight. This way we exponentially increase the load on the knee and improve the workout. Shall we attach this weight? Obviously, we'll need some kind of weight bag or something to put on that foot to increase the difficulty. And once we have that leg fully extended, the game changes, right? It's even hard to keep it up here now. I'm using a 2-kilogram weight, holding my leg here, and again I'm going to work the same movement, keeping the thigh still. And I let the leg drop until it's vertical, stretch, hold for a couple of seconds, and let it drop very, very slowly, very slowly, very slowly, that leg down until it's vertical. This allows us to work the entire tendon area of the patellar tendon, which works a lot when going downstairs. Let's go with the third one. If it's too hard with weight, use a lighter weight or don't use any weight. Whatever works, but try to adapt the exercise to your abilities. Last two, extend, relax. Last repetition, extend. No, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. I feel it and relax. Very good, right? I feel my knee has worked a lot more. I invite you to also work with the opposite leg and to do 2, 3, or even 4 sets of that same exercise, slowly and with control, to build a strong knee that can adapt to any situation. Now let's stand up and look at the exercises where we can simulate going downstairs in a very simple and accessible way. A cane and a book. A thick book is all we need to simulate going downstairs. Let's start with a very simple version and then gradually add height to make it more challenging and more similar to the steps we find everywhere. Before starting, you need to check if your hip and your knees are able to handle the load of your body weight. We all know that weight puts a huge load on your hips and knees, but that load increases tenfold when we go downstairs, and that's why we need to do this little test. I invite you to place your leg on that book with your other foot above the ground without letting it touch. From here, pay attention to my left knee. I'm going to unlock. I'm going to position myself a little more facing forward. To unlock my knee so it's not completely straight. I unlock it a little, stay balanced, and then lock it again. Do this near a wall in case you lose your balance. I unlock my knee a little and then lock it again. This simple movement is essential because it allows us to control the knee between its two phases, the movement phase and the locking phase. You have to be able to control this because if you don't, going down the stairs will be practically impossible. And if it's very difficult for you, I recommend placing a chair on each side, near a wall or a countertop, like the one in your kitchen, and practicing it. We unlock the knee and then lock it again. We unlock the knee and then lock it again. In fact, even if it seems easy to you, you can try doing it. We unlock and lock again, simply to activate the muscles in your knee. Is it too easy and you want to try something more difficult? You can do it without touching anything on the stairs. We might have side handrails to hold onto as you go down, but many times we don't have anything. Well, by doing this small exercise, we're going to manage to control that knee flexion, that muscle tone, so you can go down in a controlled and proper way. Is it too easy? We can also bend the opposite leg and go deeper. But be careful. I only recommend this to people who are more capable or who want to train their knee as much as possible. And combine both features. I don't lean on anything and I bend my knee a lot, or I lean on something and I bend my knee a lot. The goal is for you to find a level that is challenging, that is neither too easy nor too difficult. It's important to find that middle ground, and it will basically depend on your characteristics, weight, height, age, and sports history. Choose a style that you like, one that feels challenging to you. We're going to repeat it 10 times so you get a really clear idea of the movement. I'll choose. I'm going second to last. I'm going to lower myself properly by bending my knee, and I'm going to lean against the wall. But remember that you can use the simple one. Unlock, lock. In fact, I recommend everyone who's starting out to use it. Let's do this one, which is probably the one everyone will do. I lean against the wall. I unlock my knee. I hold it for a couple of seconds. I lock my knee. 1. I unlock my knee. I hold it for a couple of seconds. I lock my knee. 2, 3. I unlock my knee. And I come back. 3. I unlock my knee. 2. 3. 3, and I lock my knee. And I come back. 5, I have 5 more left. If you go any lower, go down and relax a little, and then go back and attack those 5 again. I unlock my knee. I lock my knee. 6. The goal is to do this exercise in sets of 10. Again, 3 or 4 sets would be ideal, but you can adjust that amount depending on your abilities. 7 or 8. Let's do 2 more. I bend. I'm going to go a little lower. I come back up. Last repetition, I bend. And I come back. You can say, hey Marco Sacristan, my hip hurts, because the gluteus medius, which is a muscle located right here above our buttock, is exceptionally important when it comes to keeping our pelvis balanced so that we don't do this or fall sideways. Once we've worked on that exercise and we know that our knee can support our body weight and move at the same time, we need to reproduce the movement of going downstairs. To do this, grab a cane. You can also use a chair or stand near a wall. I'm using the cane so it's easier to see. We place it in the opposite hand, a little bit in front of the tip of the big toe of the foot that's on our book. And from here I'm going to do the movement of going upstairs, which we're not really interested in, and next going down the stairs. Tip of the foot in front, I move the heel forward, and slowly, 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 until it touches and the heel on the ground. Let's switch legs, because it's much harder to see with the left side. There we go. I place the leg on the book, cane in the opposite arm. Single leg balance on that book. The foot moves forward. And notice how slowly I bend my right leg until the heel touches the ground. I lift my right heel and go back. What differences are there compared to the previous one? That we make a forward movement, that we have the cane. The distance between your right foot and your left foot will determine the difficulty of the exercise. Too far and it's very difficult, as you can see. Too close. Very easy, okay? So practice. We don't have steps that are very far apart, but the fact that you can do it from far away, for example, guarantees that when you do it from much closer in, it's going to be very, very easy. We're going to do 10 repetitions with this setup, and then I'm going to show you how to make it more challenging, even more for those who want to take it to the next level. I position myself on my right leg, heel in front, bend slowly. The cane is here only to give me a bit of stability, and I go back. Let's go again, up. Heel in front, I bend my right leg slowly, slowly, until the heel touches the floor, and I go back. If you see that you don't need the cane, you can remove it completely, okay? I'll put it against the wall. I place my hands here, and slowly I go down until the heel touches the floor. I want it to be very slow, very controlled. I stand on my right leg, leg in front, very slowly, until that heel, bam, touches the floor. How many have we done? 4, I think. I don't know. I wasn't born to count. Up, balance, heel, and I go down, and touch 5. It's pretty easy. What are we going to do? Extend that stride, okay? Instead of lowering from a closer stance, I go much farther, and this is much more challenging for my knee and my ankle. I lift off 6 and go back. Let's go again. Up, heel in front, bend, touch 7, go back. Let's go forward, heel forward, bend, 8. I have 2 left. Go back, heel forward. Very far this time, very far. 9. And if you lose your balance, remember, you have your friend the cane to help you. Last repetition, forward and 10. Very good. Let's go back to the starting position. Imagine you want to make the exercise more challenging. Well, you just need to add an extra book to make it more difficult. The higher that step is, the more difficult the exercise will be. Here, even though it's not exactly like a regular step, we're not too far off, and it works for us to recreate the scenario of stepping down. If you've noticed, what we're trying to do is simulate lower intensity scenarios, adapt to them, and gradually increase the difficulty. It's as simple as that. I position myself on my right leg, and from here I go down, much deeper, much more demanding. 1. I return to the starting position, and again I can play with 2 parameters. The support stick touching it, and your stride length, which again can be decisive when it comes to generating intensity. To generate intensity in the exercise, let's do one more. Forward. I bend and touch. Very good. You could see that going down the stairs involves many aspects, many structures. Both the hip and the knee, as well as knee strength, the tendon's ability to stretch while generating force, and single leg balance. So don't get discouraged, work on all these points. That knee strength, that power, control strength when we bend it, that single leg balance, and finally recreating the scenario of going downstairs. Since the knees are very complex structures that need complementary work on strength, mobility, and stability in order to avoid pain and handle all the situations you face in daily life. And that's why I created a program called Rodillas de Acero, which we launched last year and had over 400 people join in its first edition. And I want to give you a free session. In this session, you will learn how to work on those 3 pillars, and you will also have access to the Q&A session that took place right after that class. If you want to access it, just click on that upper right corner of the screen, enter your email address, and you'll receive it immediately in your inbox. I hope you like it, that you can follow that routine, and that you can join the program, because I assure you it can be a turning point in your recovery. Knee pain. That's all. I'll say goodbye now and thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying until the end. I hope you can share it with people who need it, and I hope to see you again very soon in one of my other videos.